So you're thinking about selling your home and you're wondering how the whole entire process works. Today, you're going through phase 5, which is getting your home through escrow all the way to your move out. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Theresa Wellman with Homeowner Experience Real Estate. Today, we're going through our tips to sell step-by-step guide for sellers. Using all the experience I've had over 20 years helping hundreds of home sellers, we are going to boil down this process and highlight some of the biggest mistakes that you should avoid so you don't make them yourself. So let's go on over to our website at homeownerexperience.com and click that tips to sell button to take you over here to our home seller tips guide. Now we are on phase 5, which means you have accepted an offer, you are in escrow, woohoo, congratulations, and you are working towards your move. So let's talk about this phase. First off, the biggest mistake I see is sellers think, oh my gosh, my house is sold, I'm done, and they start moving and packing right away. Hold on. Do you have contingencies on your sale? Does the buyer have a bank that needs to bring in an appraiser? There's all these processes and steps that you need to go through the escrow process, whether it's 3 weeks or a whole month. So please work with your agent as a team to make sure this entire process is seamless and smooth, because your home is not sold until that money is in the bank. So let's talk through this and avoid those biggest mistakes. One of the things that I find sellers get so focused on their move, which they should, but they forget about maintaining their current property. So make sure your landscape and everything is maintained and cleaned and kept in the same condition as when you accepted the offer. Because things are not over, you need to deliver the property in pristine, same condition to the buyer at close of escrow. Now, if you're busy packing and moving and you're gonna be away, or it's the heat of the summer and your lawn could potentially dry out, you need to put special attention on that. And maybe that means hiring somebody to help you keep an eye since you're focused on the move. That's totally fine, but don't drop the ball and don't let that get behind, because it could cause problems as you get close to the final walkthrough time when the buyer comes to verify that everything's still in the same condition. Also, while you're getting ready to move, and once those contingencies have been removed, you can start doing all that packing and moving. But do keep in mind that you should plan to be out of the house 100% at least 2 days before the closing day. Now, that may mean that you've packed up a moving truck or a pod and you're staying in a hotel locally or in an Airbnb, or maybe you've already bought a new home and you're transitioning. You should stay locally, but you need to be out of the house so the buyer can come in and verify with their final walkthrough. So these steps are really critical to help make the process as seamless as possible so that at close of escrow, you can take your money and move on to your next chapter. What are some of the biggest mistakes we see in this phase? Well, the first one that I mentioned at the beginning is assuming your house is sold before it's actually closed. If your buyer has contingencies, they can walk away with no harm to them, but obviously it could really affect you. So do what you can to cooperate with the buyer, their appraiser, their inspectors, or anything to make sure that process is as seamless as possible to continue you on the timeline to closing. The other thing I see is that sellers rush out of the home, leave things behind, leave the property really messy, and per the contract here in California, you need to have the property at a minimum broom clean. Now, in my step-by-step guide of escrow that I will send over to sellers, we're gonna talk about these things, like you might wanna consider hiring a professional cleaner. Again, why you wanna move out potentially 2 days before so that that cleaner can come in and make sure you're fully compliant, that the house is ready to transfer over to the buyer. The last big mistake I have listed here is not maintaining that property in condition. And we talked about that a little bit, about making sure that you hire somebody to help if you don't have the time and attention to make sure the property is maintained through the entire process. So if you've got any other questions or concerns or details, I'd love to have you comment below. Feel free to do that. And if you're ready for that next step to really dig into your personal property, what can be improved, like in phase 1 and phase 2, and how to work on the pricing strategy, well, we would love to sit down and talk with you. We offer a free seller consultation. So check out our website and the links on this home seller guide to book that consultation. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Theresa Wellman with Homeowner Experience Real Estate. Are you considering selling in the next 6 or 12 months? Well, let's plan the home prep now to get the highest possible price when you're ready to sell. Many people ask my advice on what they should do to update their home for the best return on investment. To make your property most attractive to today's buyers involves key steps that are constantly changing. I offer a 1-hour selling consultation to plan your home prep steps. And in this property visit, we will talk about key areas to update now, discuss a calendar plan to meet your schedule, talk about the market today and my projections for your timeline, review an estimated net sheet, and share trusted home prep contractors we work with often. See the link below to schedule your seller consultation appointment.